Hi, it's Kevin Stewart Builds 250. I'm Kev, and here we have issue number 12 of the Ferrari F40 Competizione. Okay, issue 12. Looks like it's still doing parts on the engine, but these are going to be the first parts of the transmission. So once again, see how we get on with those metal screws again. See how the oil gets on again using that oil. It's a good system, I think. Okay, and but let's get into it. Let's get into the build for issue number 12. Okay, so parts laid out for issue 12. Now I have got an issue. I've got a problem, and I'm going to see how this goes. But I've got two packs of T screws. I should have one pack of T and one pack of S. S is obviously for the. I've had a look through the instructions for the metal. T is for the plastic. So because I haven't got any spare S screws, they haven't sent me one in the last pack. What I've done is I've gone to my pack of screws from the DeLorean build, and I've used a set of calipers. I've measured, and a very similar screw from the DeLorean build was the DM screw from the DeLorean build, so I'm going to use them ones, see if they fit. But I'll test fit them first and make sure that they are actually going to work. Obviously they're black and the screws are silver, but I don't think that's going to make much of a difference because they're going to be buried inside the transmission housing. So yeah, hopefully won't make too much of a difference, but I'll wait and see when I get to that part. Okay, so that's a bit disappointing. But yeah, something to check. I normally do check on the inventory whether I've got all the right stuff, and obviously in this case I haven't. I've got two packs of T screws. I should have a T and an S. Okay, but anyway, okay, looking at the magazine then. All right, yeah, always say do this with the magazine because it is such an impressive. But I see part of the build. Part of the build I'm enjoying is the magazines themselves. Some very, very nice iconic shots of classic Ferraris. This one being the 458 GT2. That's a lovely kind of picture, isn't it? Coming out, you know, the yellow tinted lights. Yeah, also obviously the racing days, and yeah, this is where I found out, obviously, because you've got T and S screws and one. I've only got 2 packs of T screws. Okay, and they go into that part there, so I'm going to wait and see if that makes a difference. Okay, but hey, let's get on with the build as far as we can, and if I have to stop and then reorder, then I'll do that. Okay, so first part is saying is to put the clutch housing together. It's kind of got it that way. And I'll do it as it's got it in the magazine. So it's kind of got it that way, and I go that way. Kind of highlighting that them are the holes that it's going to go into. They're the screw holes for the clutch housing. It's obviously it's quite obvious which way around it goes, but make sure you're putting the screws into the plastic screws into the correct holes. The other ones are for the clutch friction plate itself. So, yeah, for those raised ones, not the flush ones, the raised ones are the ones where you're going to be putting the plastic screws in. And you're just going to be putting 2 plastic screws in to hold the clutch housing together. Quite easy because it's plastic, isn't it? Make sure they go in kind of nice and tight, because you make sure there's no gap there. There's no gap in the clutch housing. Okay. And the next part, you've kind of got a, not wedge, but slot it under. So you've got a sill there. You're going to have to kind of get this under the friction plate itself. I think it can only go in one way. I'm just having a look. It'll only work. I know it will work either way. Okay, so it's just a case of, I don't think there's an up or a down. No, it looks pretty similar. Okay, it's just a case of slotting it under and just popping it in. Okay, so slot that under that shelf there. All right, so this is the part that's a bit, I'm going to test these screws that I've got and make sure that they're going to go, because they're going to go into these pegs here. That's the kind of first motion shaft, if you like, from the engine and into the clutch friction plate. So it does go on like that. Okay, it shows it without the clutch housing there in the magazine, so you can kind of have a look and make sure that the clutch looks in the right kind of way, if you can see in there. That's kind of how it shows it. Okay, so right, first off what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if these DM screws, which I have measured as I say, are actually going to work and are actually going to, so I'm going to test fit them first. So that goes on, and then this is going to be, though, I think quite tricky, if I'm honest, because you can't, once again, you're at a massive angle to get these screws in. I'm going to try what I did with the last one, which is where I'm going to try just placing it first off, because I still want them to go in square. You know, I don't want them to go in at an angle. Vision is also a problem with this. Actually seeing what you're doing. It's quite dark in there. Okay. Yep, that was not that easy. It didn't help that I didn't have the right screws, but they're holding it all in nicely now. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that in there. But yeah, holding it all nicely in now and looking like it should do. Okay, so yeah, issue 12 done. That's it for this subscribers pack basically. Just gotta wait for the next lot to turn up. But that was obviously quite tricky, I guess. Same as last time with the screws that are at an angle. It didn't help obviously not getting the correct screws. But hey, I've always wondered why I kept those screws for so long, because obviously I get loads of screws with every single build you do. You get extra screws with every single pack. So I've been keeping them diligently in a little tub and marking them up as what the screws were. But hey, it helped this time because obviously I didn't get the correct screws, but I got ones that fitted, just measured them up and they worked okay. But hey, yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, if you'd like to see the progression of any of these builds, then please consider subscribing. Click the bell if you'd like to be notified any time that a video goes live. But hey, yeah, stay safe, stay home if you can, and I hope to catch you again on the channel soon, but ta-da for now.